Black exploited white's weak decision in the endgame and found the win. Controlling the center and opening up the light-squared bishop for the development. Opening up the dark-squared bishop and seizing the center. This develops the knight and attacks a pawn. After the light, two knights enter the game for an even matchup. The Ruy Lopez develops the bishop to immediately attack the black knight. This forces the bishop to decide exchange or retreat. This captures the knight and forces doubled pawns for black. Black recaptures the piece and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. Black has the bishop pair as compensation for the doubled pawns. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. f6 defends the e5 pawn, but slightly weakens black's kingside and the e6 square. d4 takes space in the center, attacks the e5 pawn, and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. Bishop g4 develops the bishop and pins the knight on f3. D takes e5 opens up the center, captures the e5 pawn, and offers an exchange of queens. Queen takes d1 captures the white queen and enters an endgame where black has the bishop pair and white has the better pawn structure. Rook takes d1 recaptures the queen and takes control of the d file. F takes e5 recaptures the e5 pawn and opens up the f6 square. Rook d3 protects the knight, unpins the knight, and lifts the rook to the third rank. Bishop d6 develops the bishop toward the center and protects the e5 pawn. White develops the knight and supports the center. With this move, black is now ready to castle on the king side. This threatens to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. This threatens to capture a bishop and win material after the follow-up trades. This attacks a rook, winning a tempo when it moves away. This calmly removes the rook from an immediate threat. Great find, this was the only move that works. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. This threatens to win a bishop through a fork. This move sets up a fork on two valuable targets. The pawn is now adequately defended. That's the strongest option, yeah. This evades the check from the bishop. With the rook now developed as well, black has all pieces ready for action. The best option was to develop further. This allows the opponent to take an open file with a rook. The rook is now on an open file, which helps control squares across the board. The best option was to centralize a knight so it controls more squares. This permits only one good move here, and black spotted it. Black's bishop has moved to a square with greater activity and control. Great find, this was the only move that works. This moves the knight to safety. Only one good move here, and white spotted it. Great find, this was the only move that works. Only one good move here, and white spotted it. This wins the tempo by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. Great find, this was the only move that works. This moves the bishop to safety. This move leaves a pawn hanging for free. That was a free pawn. This blocks an attack on a rook. This creates a counter threat against the rook, as opposed to retreating. This move steps the rook out of danger and keeps material balance. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. That's the strongest option. Yeah, good. Not the best move, too bad. White activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. This move gets the rooks ready to fight together on one file. That's an okay move. Black had an advantage, but now the game is close to equal. The game was close to balanced, but now white is worse. A good choice to move the knight and avoid the trade. This wins time by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. This move puts the rook on a safer square. The best option was to move a knight to a more active position. This doubles the rooks on a file, which allows them to team up to create threats. Right on target, a strong choice. That's the strongest option, yeah. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. That's the strongest option. Yeah, good. Black was better off, but now their position is winning. Solid move, but not the best. Right on target, a strong choice. Not a mistake, but not the best move either. Standard. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. That misses a much better move. Simple as that. White was worse off, but now they are in a losing position. This missed an opportunity to punish a mistake. Only one good move here, and white spotted it. Swapping that inactive knight for a better one, smart. A straightforward recapture. Great find. This was the only move that works. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control more squares. The best option was to attack a pawn chain. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. This threatens to capture a rook and win material after the follow-up trades. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. A straightforward recapture. Only one good move here, and black spotted it. Solid move. Getting out of trouble, but that square is pretty dull. Very strong play. Can't argue with that. This misses a better way to increase a bishop's scope by moving it to a better square. That's the strongest option, yeah. This threatens to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. This misses an opportunity to capture a free pawn. This missed an opportunity to punish a mistake. This is an equal trade. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. A straightforward recapture. That's the strongest option. Yeah, good. This attacks black's pawn chain. That's an okay move. This is an equal trade. A clear recapture. This allows the opponent to attack the bishop with a pawn. This took advantage of a mistake, and black now has a winning advantage. This moves the bishop to safety. The bishop finds a new active square. This steps away from the checking bishop. Right on target, a strong choice. This move steps the pawn out of danger and keeps material balance. Pushing a passed pawn. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. Pushing a passed pawn. Not the best move. There was something much better. This steps away from the checking pawn. One of the best moves. Solid. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. Solid move, but not the best. This moves the bishop to safety. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control more squares. That's the strongest option, yeah. That was a free pawn. Blockading the passed pawn halts progress and buys black some time.